Have you ever torn off a sheet of aluminum foil and noticed how one side gleams like a mirror while the other looks flat and gray? Same sheet. Same thickness. Yet somehow, two completely different surfaces exist on something so thin it almost feels weightless in your hand. It's one of those quiet details in your kitchen that most people accept without thinking, until someone tells you there's a right way to use it. Shiny side in. Shiny side out. A rule passed down through recipes, parents, and cooking blogs, followed without question. But here's the strange part, that rule isn't actually true. And the real reason those two sides look different has nothing to do with cooking at all. It isn't about heat, reflection, or performance. It comes from something far more hidden, something that happened long before the foil ever reached your kitchen. Right here on Simple History of Things, let's look beyond the surface and uncover what really creates that shiny side and that dull side, and why your food doesn't care about either one. When people explain the difference, they usually start with a simple idea: the shiny side reflects heat. Turn it inward, and it bounces heat back into the food. Turn it outward, and it reflects heat away. Two sides, two purposes. It sounds convincing because it connects to things we already understand. Mirrors reflect light. Emergency blankets are shiny to retain heat. So naturally, it feels logical that foil would work the same way. But inside a typical kitchen oven, that idea begins to fall apart. Heat doesn't mainly travel through radiation, the type reflection affects. It moves through convection and conduction. Hot air circulates. Surfaces transfer heat through direct contact. In that environment, aluminum foil isn't acting like a mirror. Its main role is to trap moisture, regulate steam, and create a stable cooking environment around the food. Whether the shiny side faces inward or outward, the effect is the same. No measurable difference. So if the difference isn't about cooking, where does it come from? The answer takes us out of the kitchen and into a factory, into a process so precise that most people never think about it. Because making aluminum foil isn't as simple as flattening metal. It's about pushing a solid material to the edge of what it can physically survive. To create foil, manufacturers begin with thick slabs of aluminum and pass them through massive steel rollers. With each pass, the metal is pressed thinner and thinner, stretched under heat and pressure until it reaches its final form. A standard kitchen foil ends up around 16 microns thick. That's less than a quarter the thickness of a human hair. At that level, the material becomes incredibly fragile. Run a single sheet through the final rolling stage, and it tears. So manufacturers had to solve a problem. How do you make something that thin without destroying it? The solution was surprisingly simple, and it's the entire reason your foil has two different sides. Instead of rolling one sheet, they roll two sheets at the same time. Pressed together, moving through the rollers as a single unit, each sheet supports the other. Together, they survive the pressure. This method is called double rolling. And in that moment, the mystery is created. During the final pass, each sheet has two sides. One side is pressed against polished steel rollers. The other side is pressed against another sheet of aluminum. The side touching the steel becomes smooth and reflective. Under intense pressure, it's polished to a mirror-like finish. That's the shiny side. The side touching the other sheet doesn't get that same treatment. Instead, aluminum presses against aluminum, creating a fine, uneven texture that scatters light. That's the dull side. When the sheets are separated, each one carries both finishes, one side shaped by steel, the other by contact with another sheet of metal. No coating. No special treatment. No design decision for cooking performance. Just a manufacturing solution, pressed permanently into the surface of the foil. Once you see it this way, the difference becomes clearer. The shiny side isn't better. The dull side isn't worse. They're simply records of two different contact conditions during the same moment in production. And when it comes back to your kitchen, this is where the common belief finally breaks. Aluminum foil reflects most radiant heat on both sides. The difference between them is so small it doesn't change how food cooks. Wrap something one way, then flip it the other, the result is identical. Baking, roasting, covering, storing, both sides perform the same function at the same efficiency. There is, however, one small exception. Some foil is labeled as non-stick. In that case, a coating is applied to one side only, and that side is always the dull side. That's the only time orientation matters. Not because of heat, but because of the coating. If you place the wrong side against your food, the non-stick layer isn't doing its job. But for standard foil, the kind sitting in most kitchen drawers, both sides are just aluminum. No difference in performance. No hidden function. So what looks like a deliberate design feature is actually something else entirely. The shiny side and the dull side are not instructions. They're evidence. Evidence of a problem, aluminum becoming too fragile at extreme thinness. Evidence of a solution, rolling two sheets together so neither tears. And evidence of the exact moment that solution happened, captured permanently on every sheet you use. In the end, what seems like a simple kitchen mystery isn't about cooking at all. It's about how materials behave under pressure. How manufacturing shapes the objects around us in ways we never notice. That sheet of foil in your hand isn't telling you how to cook. It's showing you how it was made. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So the next time you pull foil from the roll, take a second look at those two sides. One touched steel. The other touched aluminum. Both carry the story of how something incredibly thin managed to survive being made at all. Because sometimes, the smallest details aren't design choices. They're fingerprints, left behind by the process itself. If you enjoyed this exploration, tell us in the comments what everyday object you'd like us to uncover next. We always read your ideas, and we always give a shout out when your suggestion becomes a story. Thank you for joining us on Simple History of Things, where the simplest objects often carry the most hidden explanations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories hiding in plain sight.